a new bike that they had built for this season based on the road going 500 4-cylinder Yamaha, and he's dragged out the old machine that they affectionately call Slug or Son of Slug, and that's the old 500cc racing Yamaha that is of now about 4 years vintage and just has done Steve so much sterling service, and it's obviously been good enough for him to qualify in 4th position, which is amazing considering he's up against all the latest Grand Prix machinery.
So the field, as they assemble on the paddock, a moment of drama there. We can see a couple of mechanics working on one of the bikes right at the back of the grid, and the rest of the field slowly coming out down pit lane. A nice, bright, sunny morning here at Donington Park. A little bit chilly, but certainly the weather nice and kind to us so far, and conditions virtually ideal for racing. Not a lot of wind, but definitely chilly. Well, we repeat, Ron Haslam, the man who won the World of Sport Superbike Challenge last year, is in pole position and considerably quicker than anyone else in that practice, in the practice session that we had this morning. Haslam 1 minute 19.92, and he's the only man, in fact, to get under the 1:19.9 barrier. Practice time's very slow, Peter, this morning.
Yes, yeah, they had a bit of trouble because there was still sort of damp on the circuit. It was very, very cold, so the tyres didn't really get up to full working temperature. So there's a lot more to come from the guys, I think, this afternoon as the temperature has got better and the track is now perfectly dry.
The field out then on the first of 2 warm-up laps. In fact, my apologies, it's just 1 warm-up lap, and whether that will result in some problems is debatable. Peter, I would have thought with the temperature as chilly as it is out there, very sunny but quite cool, I would have thought 1 lap would not quite enough to get the tyres warmed up.
Well, yes, it is be a very, very marginal point, I'd say. The track temperature, although you say the sun is coming out, the tarmac is still very, very cool, and that has an effect on the performance of the tyres. And I would expect to see the riders take it easy on the first few laps, especially that very, very tricky downhill left-hander of Craner Curves, which tends to catch people out, and we could see the front end slipping away then if guys try and press it too hard early in the race.
Well, there are some Haslam supporters in the crowd, and that's not surprising because Ron, of course, lives at Langley Mill, only just up the road, up the M1, probably something like 10 or 12 miles from Donington Park, and he is a very popular man, of course, at most circuits, but particularly at Donington. Well, let's confirm that Ron is fastest in practice. He'll be riding bike number 5, and there is the man who's second fastest in practice, number 11, Roger Marshall, one of the 3, or rather the 4, in fact, Rothman Honda machines in the race. 3 of them occupying the front row of the grid. Ron Haslam fastest, Roger Marshall second best, and Wayne Gardner third fastest. But Roger Burnett, the 4th member of the new Honda Britain squad, is in fact down in 17th place, having had some mechanical problems in the practice session. Marshall going so well at Brands Hatch yesterday, and certainly eager and keen to show what he can do against Haslam and Gardner, who may be teammates, but Marshall, of course, at 34 years of age, is keen to show that he's as good as any of the 2 Grand Prix runners in the Rothmans Honda setup. So the track being, the grid being slowly cleared. This, of course, is an 18-lap race, and it promises to be as an exciting opener for the World of Sport event as we could have hoped for. Rob McElnay there with a new colour scheme. They've just taken sponsorship from Skull Bandit, and so we have Rob McElnay in an unusual helmet colour and an unusual colour scheme on leathers and white, so we've got to keep our eyes open for Rob McElnay, bike number 33. He completes the front row of the grid. So Haslam, Marshall, Gardner, Parrish, McElnay, 5, 11, 7, 6, 33. They're the numbers to be looking for. Second row of the grid, number 25, David Griffith, Steve Ewan next in, then Alan Jeffrey and Chris Martin. 10th fastest with Paul, and away they go. And again, it's Haslam, who's always good at the start. Haslam, bike number 5 in the centre of your picture. Next to him, David Griffiths, 25. He's going to be second into Redgate as the field peel hard right through Redgate. Ron Haslam at the front. Bear in mind, we're a little bit worried that the tyres won't be quite as warm as they should be at the start of this race, but it's Haslam the man who's making the charge with David Griffiths there, going through Craner Curve in second spot, and I think that's Wayne Gardner in fourth place. There's Keith Hewen in picture. He must be in fifth spot, which isn't too bad a start indeed for Keith. He's not had the happiest start to the season. Things going wrong in South Africa.
And it looks as though McElnay's up into second place already behind Haslam, the leader.
So McElnay having gone ahead of David Griffiths. There, though, is bike number 5, Ron Haslam, the man from Langley Mill in Nottinghamshire. Rob McElnay, number 33, 25 is David Griffiths, 11 was Roger Marshall, and up there too was Keith Hewen and Wayne Gardner. Mark Sell, number 4, going through there. And some very, very wide lines going through McLean down the back straight into the chicane for the first time. Haslam and McElnay running first and second. And that's Wayne Gardner, bike number 7 in third spot. Roger Marshall on number 11 in fourth position. So the first 4 men, comprising 3 of the Honda Britain men, with Rob McElnay, the odd man out, in second spot on the Skull Bandit Suzuki. So Haslam in front. And a quick rundown at the end of that first lap. Haslam the leader, McElnay in second place, number 33. Third was number 7, Wayne Gardner. Fourth was number 11, Roger Marshall. Fifth was David Griffiths, number 25. And in sixth place was number 6, Steve Parrish. But on the second lap, Haslam beginning to stretch an advantage over McElnay. And as we said in practice, Haslam was 0.77 tenths of a second faster than anybody else, although the track was a little bit damp. Well, there were doubts that Rod would be here at Donington Park, a little bit of negotiation problems to sort out. But David Griffiths goes very wide and loses a lot of ground, and I spotted Gary Lingham in there. Peter moving up very quickly. And Trevor Nation as well. It looks as though the 2 privateers, Lingham and Nation, are on their way up through the pack. Back as Ron Haslam completes the second lap in this 18-lap battle, and you can see the Honda snaking there as Haslam changes down. Wayne Gardner goes through in second spot now. Rob McElnay into third position. McElnay's got the tighter line, and these men are really on the limit. The bike snaking and weaving on the slick tyres. Yes, Gardner's got the power on early there, didn't he? Nicked inside McElnay and has got ahead of him, and Rob now looking for a way back past the Honda. But his disadvantage is the way the Honda accelerates out of the corners. It's very different for Rob to be able to hang on to him. And we saw he gained a 10-yard lead there, number 7, accelerating away. Wayne Gardner in the second spot. Well, we saw, as Peter said, the better acceleration of the Honda. So Honda's now first and second in the form of Ron Haslam, and this man, number 7, Wayne Gardner, the Australian who joined the Honda Britain team a couple of years ago, this year starting his full Grand Prix season. Still there in third place is Rob McElnay. Mick Grant is out of the race, and we've also had another retirement. 34, John Brindley is out of the race, and number 77, Fred Mossel, also gone. So 3 retirements early on in this race, including Mick Grant. So that is the end of the third lap. 15 more laps to go. Haslam number 5, 7 Gardner getting closer now. Haslam's lead beginning to be eased away by the Australian. And there in fourth place, bike number 11, Roger Marshall. And McElnay and Marshall being dropped off a little bit now by the 2 Grand Prix stars in the Honda Britain lineup. Haslam number 5, Gardner number 7 on identical bikes. And certainly in the past couple of years, oh dear, a nasty moment there for Wayne Gardner, Peter. Yes, he got the power on really hard there, and the front end lifted, and he got the front wheel a little bit crossed as it came down, so it kicked